So yeah, I'm going to do a guide on the Harasser. Just talk about it in general, really. There's not much to say about it, but if you're new to the game, you might come across it. That's where you spawn a Colossus tank. That's where you spawn a Bastion, and that's where you spawn air. This is the vehicle terminal over here, as you can see. It has a vehicle above it. If you're new to the game, you might not know. I'm on an Indar currently. Got 11 minutes of the alert left. So let's jump straight into it. So you've got all these different ones you can unlock. I'm going to do the Harasser. I've done a Vanguard guide, you might want to check that out. But just for it, I'm going to do the Harasser. I'm going to jump straight into it. So the Harasser is like a car type of thing with a thing on top. Different guns. Generally people look at the guns you can unlock, and it can be quite confusing what to buy. Some of them do kind of the same job. But yeah, so guns wise, I don't have many unlocked. Generally this gun here, I mean, I've talked about them in my Vanguard video, but this gun here is generally for air. These are really good on Harassers. This particular thing, the M96 boombox is really good, especially if you've got a passenger that's gunning for you. The canister is something that I use generally when I'm fighting infantry. I'll pull it and just go in and shoot a load of infantry. I bring them to the point sometimes and take out maxes with the canister. It's really random. Okay, we've got a nice little entourage going on. Okay. Just gonna go over here real sec. Get out of the way of these guys. Right, so vehicle wise, Harasser, so that's primarily for anti-air duties. Now you might pull an Harasser to go shoot down air that's around a bastion. Generally you would pick that. I always find the M96 really useful. Generally around other Harassers, you can take Harassers out, you can own them. I might pick a canister sometimes if I'm going against infantry. Cobalt, the other day I was running a Cobalt Harasser and annoying infantry. Generally I'm only going to talk about, I mean these things you can buy on a Sunderer. Generally these are good for Sunderers, the Bulldogs. I don't use the Fury that much. The Walker I don't use. I have Walkers on Sundays if I need to use them. The Ranger is obviously anti-air primarily. You can't really damage vehicles with it. The Halberd is really good for long-range sniping, so you can sit on a hill and snipe people at longest range, medium to longest range. The Enforcer is really strong on an Harasser. Mostly it's either this or this I tend to pick, because I'll pick an Harasser mainly for anti-tank duties. So I'll go around killing vehicles, mostly Sunderers. If the enemy's got a convoy going, I'll get involved with an Harasser and start killing the convoys. Really useful. Or killing the you mainly want to go for the repair Sundays if you're attacking a convoy, or the tanks, the main battle tanks. So the backlist is a good all-rounder, but I feel that if you're gonna main Harasser most of the time, because you don't have a front gun like the tank, you're going to need to cert into something good to be useful. So the M96 is really useful. Obviously Cobalt for infantry. I was parked near a Sunday the other day and I was just hammering him as I was coming across the road, and then they cottoned on to what I was doing and they chased me, but I still had a Cobalt to kill infantry. The thing is, you're going to get owned by tanks, but you can bring one to the point, an Harasser to the point, and defend the point against infantry. Is really useful. So generally that's all I'm going to say about them. I've talked about them in my tank video. I went into massive detail, probably a bit more than I should, but generally, so like Cobalt for example, you want to get some sort of optics on it. Or night vision if it's night time, but generally I always pick optics. You want to upgrade magazine size over reload. I always pick magazine. and ammo capacity, you want to get that up to a point where you're satisfied. So ammo printer, I've talked about this in my tank video. Just let me... So I have it's like an anti-vehicle loadout, I call it, but it's actually just a vehicle loadout. So as you can see here, ammo printer and sweeper hood is what I use. These obviously, sweeper hood is good for mines, seeing mines, and tank ammo printer is good in a tank because it can give you ammo to your main gun. You can also in an Harasser, if you're the driver, you can also give ammo to the passenger's gun. Very useful. So just pointing that out there. I'm not going to go too much into that because I talked about it in my tank video. I don't want it to turn into a 50-minute long video like it did last time. And obviously there is a lot to talk about, and as a new player there's a lot of things that are going to confuse you. If I didn't cover anything in this video, just comment down below and just let me know what I've done wrong, or even if you're confused about something, just feel free to comment. I can always get advice from certain people. It's really good. So fire suppression is what I use on most of the time. I've tried smoke screen, don't use it that much. I tend to use fire suppression. Gate shield diffuser, obviously if you've got to go through a gate, it's really useful, but generally I would use fire suppression over that. So yeah, so here you've got all these different types of chassis. Now the Daredevil chassis is something that you get from the vendor. I'll show you that in a sec. I'll put that towards more the end of the video. So generally I tend to run a racer high-speed chassis. You've got scrapper chassis, which improve traction, turning brakes, and reverse speed. I don't tend to use it. And surge power chassis, improve landing and hill climbing. Don't use that either. The Daredevil chassis is basically, so let me show you. So if you're going over a hill, for example, let me try and find something to go over. Just 1 second. So something like this, for example, them stairs there. So you can have control. So you see how I flipped it? I flipped it because I did that on purpose, but it gives you the ability to flip right over. It's kind of a novelty. Let me try and explain a bit more. We'll just go back a sec. So when you jump, it basically gives you the option to move your vehicle around more than it just staying still in midair. It's kind of hard to explain. I didn't really explain it very well, but that's basically what it does. If you fly over a hill, you can go left or right quicker and roll quicker, I think. Yeah, improved airborne speed and roll capabilities. So yeah, you can roll it. I mean, it's just a novelty item. You don't use it that often. Generally, I just run high speed. At the front, there's many different things. So for proximity radar, you could run that with a cobalt, and that would be really useful because you can see enemy coming on the map. Generally, composite armor, I don't use it, but people have said it's good, and I should use it more. The one thing I do use is Mine Guard. I always max out Mine Guard. It's something I've always used because mines are deadly to harassers, or if you're harassing maybe a Sunday that's parked up and people are spawning on it, and you're just harassing them, they're going to put mines down near the Sunday, and you're going to end up eventually banging into them. So yeah, Mine Guard max to max level, very useful. Composite armor, don't use it. Proximity radar, as I said, good at spotting people on the map. You can spot other vehicles, I think. but I just don't use it that often. I got level 1 because I use it sometimes with a cobalt. So nanite auto repair I don't use, but it is useful out of combat if you've got if you're being repaired and your nanite auto repair, you're doing two things. So it's repairing you quicker basically. And vehicle stealth I don't use. Now vehicle stealth is kind of useful. I saw a guy running vehicle stealth along with the ranger. He was using it for that, and when I spoke to him about it, he said that it gives him stealth, some nice stealth versus aircraft, which I can kind of get, but on ceres you're not going to get a massive amount of air on a regular basis. But the ranger is good obviously for air, so you could combine it with the vehicle stealth, but generally I would run something like this, and then I would just run the mine guard. And you can kill infantry with the boombox, it's not terrible. Just generally I run mine guard. Now the reason I ended up making this video, or getting most of the information from this video, when I first started going into vehicles in general, there's one person that I would like to thank, and that's Heridium and OG Link. I commented in faction chat one day and they replied to me, giving me basically the answer to my question, and that was how to build an Harasser. Obviously it's their opinion on building an Harasser, but I was brand new to Harassers at the time, never used one, and that gave me a starting block. So this is what I generally use, this is what I got told to use, kind of. I have tried the other ones out on the other server, because generally vehicle play is more on the other server, but on this server I generally run high speed chassis, and I find it really useful, especially with fire suppression. It's a really good combination, and mine guard, absolutely beautiful. And obviously you could change the decal and everything. I'm not going to go into all this. I got these free from winning a continent alert, the tires.
You are in a restricted area. The
restricted area, right. I'm just going to nip. I've just moved over to Amrish real quick. I'm going to edit this in because it's something I didn't talk about, kind of important. So I'm going to select the Harasser a sec, because I want to show you. Right, so Harasser has a turbo boost like this. Okay, makes it go faster and it can zoom over things. So let's have a quick look a sec. So you generally activate the turbo boost to go over things. So if you're stuck like that, you might activate it to go over something. Like that. And it can get into spots, really nice spots. Now, the turbo thing generally comes back over time. Now, if you go into my character, go to passive skills, you can upgrade the Harasser. So the Harasser turbo fuel regeneration rate on an empty full tank will refill completely in 20 seconds. So you can upgrade it, you can buy it and upgrade it. I think before you, I think when you are level 1, I think that you don't have the turbo boost, or maybe you have a level 1 variant. Well, anyway, you go into you basically select options. You go into my character, passive skills, and NFI 2000 turbo Harasser, and you can upgrade it and do whatever you want. Really useful. Just really useful in general. And yeah, enjoy, guys. I'm going to take you now to I'm just going to nip to Santry real quick, just to show you where to get the Daredevil Chassis. So yeah, I just want to thank them guys really, because the knowledge around just general planet side stuff only comes from the community and people giving advice to other players. It's unfortunate really that there's not much information out there, and you spend a lot of time googling stuff instead of playing the game, especially when you're new. So I'll just so I've come to the vendors here. As you stand in the middle, you will look over there and there's a vendor. He's to your left. So as you see, you go to him. Now you can purchase stuff from this vendor for a limited time. Now 4,200 is what I've got. Now I can get the Daredevil Chassis for the Flash, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Now A7 is unlocked when you complete a continent alert. That's when it becomes I think you gain 350 for a win, and I think you gain about 200 for a loss. But every continent alert, you win or lose, you gain a bit, and that enables you to buy certain things. Now, obviously I've bought all these now, but the Daredevil Chassis for the Harasser is just generally novelty item. You won't really use it that much. There's better stuff out there, but it's just for people. I guess it's just for people to use really. If they're bored, maybe, I don't know. I mean, at high levels, there's not a lot to do. The aim of the game is to take bases, and it can be really difficult to take bases when you've only got 5 men, but you're zerging the point. Anyway, that's for another video, so I'm not going to go too much into that. Oh, I like what he's wearing. Nice. I love some of these armor sets. They're really nice, you know. I'm just going to check this guy out real quick. I love some of the TR armor sets. They look amazing. Sorry, just looking at you. Yeah, look at that. It looks pretty cool, man. Oh, that guy as well. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to end the video there. Any questions, feel free to pop them down in the comments. If I haven't answered anything and you're confused, you can catch me in game. My name is Commando. Feel free to ask me any questions. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at there, guys. See you later.